Anybody there? Ah, one person's joined me. Who's that? Say hello to me. Let me know you're there. Joe, I'm just adding you. Listen, are we getting slick? Are we getting slick or what?
It's getting better, isn't it?
Oh, mate, good to see you. How are you?
And you, mate? Yeah. Let me just sort this camera out just a little bit.
Sunshine's on the right.
My chair.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We put some new lights in, and instead of them being warm or whatever it is, it's the different. She's got stress a bit.
Who did you get to do that? I know a decent builder. I know a cowboy builder. Well, there's loads of people. Hello, good evening, everybody. There's 13 of you out there. I hope you're all well.
All right.
I shall do a proper introduction. I'm just giving you a few of you a chance to join in and say hello.
Michael Middleton. Well done.
Stan Muzzle. Sean Feeney's out. We can see you, Sean. We know you're there. It says bring him on. Stato. Evening, Simon Quick. Good evening, buddy. I hope you're well. Welcome to Red and Blue News. I hope you're enjoying this little feature that we do. Me and the old boy next to me there. Look, he makes me look young, and I'm the oldest of the group. Evening, Tom. How are you, mate? Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah, don't turn around. Don't turn around.
I thought there was someone else here.
No, man. Yeah, I've got some news. I'm just reading live on Sky Sports right now. Okay, before we make
this is Red and Blue News.
Yeah, this is Red and Blue up-to-date news. Cardiff manager Neil Warnock signs a new 2-year contract extension until May 2020. Evening, Daniel. How are you, mate? And it's... I was a bit shocked at that. I didn't think he was going to stay there that long, did you? You there?
He's doing all right. Yeah, he's doing all right.
No, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. I'm part of me. I've got a little soft spot for Neil Warnock. I mean, he never did us any harm. I've got no problem with him.
No, you're right.
It's the lights that make him look young, is it, Michael? Michael Dennis says it's the lights that make you look young. I don't think so.
It's the makeup. It's the makeup.
Yeah, but what he hasn't told you guys is he's actually been in makeup since 4 o'clock this afternoon, and this is the end result.
It's the best it's ever going to look. So Lisa's watching now.
Hi, Lisa. Hope you're
I
right.
was watching.
John Ellicott's there. John, we love you, and you know what we mean. We're not going to talk about it, but we love you. All right. Right, should I kick off?
Yeah. You've got the.
I have got
some sort of.
I have got a bit of a running order for you all this evening, and I'm going to tell you all what we're going to pull. Nick's on. Acorn Winkle. What's Acorn Winkle mean on him? Any idea?
I don't know.
Is
I thought he was supposed to be on the other mob, sharing in their joyous news today.
Shall we talk about that first, or shall we not bother?
Well, welcome aboard, Nick. No. Let them have their...
Nick Knack Paddy Whack, I love you. Welcome on, mate. Miss you. Ian Blackmore is my brother-in-law. Hello, mate. Mark Best. I hope you're well. Evening, uncle. You cheeky little bastard. I hope the little one's okay, mate. Big Richard's come on. He's my partner in the Homesdale. How are you, mate? Anagram of Neil Warnock. Very clever. See, Nick, you're too intelligent for us. Apparently that thing that he mentioned a minute ago, that Acorn Winkle is an anagram of Neil Warnock.
Oh, I thought it was the other anagram that I always used, which was Colin Winker, wasn't it? Something like that. Wasn't it Colin? And then a rude word. Are we allowed to swear? I don't know.
Hi, Danny. Hope you're well, mate. Ben Allen, good evening. Got a special message for you. Oh, and you've left another one over here, Ben, as well. There he is. Tim Warren's on.
Ben Simmons, Richard Harvey. Right, listen. Evening, Lee. Let's get going.
Okay,
We've got up to we're 24 in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, right. Okay, here we go. Guys, we're going to keep this short and sweet, maybe 40 minutes, I would guess. Jill's going to keep me advised of the time. It's just after 7 o'clock. Welcome to Red and Blue News. My name is Nick Philpot, and as you can see on the screen, the big fella next to me is the wonderful Jill Holyoake. Quick running order for you this evening. We're going to be talking about yesterday's game, a brief look at the highlights, talk about the highlights. We won't dwell too much on the game. Most of us saw it. I want to talk to you about Old Stand development, okay, Grant's boat trip, and a couple of other bits and questions for you. Now, for those of you who haven't joined us before, welcome to this, okay? It's something we're going to do on quite a regular basis. But as you're asking your questions during the evening, guys, just remember it's actually going up on our screen in front of us, just the same as it is yours. And there's no way of us capturing. So if I could ask you possibly just to kick off with, hold back on the questions for about 20 minutes or so, then don't forget, I've got the font of all knowledge here, okay? And me, okay? So he'll help us with all the questions and everything else. Stop looking around for Lisa. She's not she's not looking at pulling funny faces. So we're going to kick off, if you don't mind. I'm just going to do Grant's trip on the Chelsea trip, if you don't mind. Now, for those of you who haven't been involved before, last year, and I think the year before, we did a boat trip for the away fixture at Chelsea. Now, last year we actually did a bit of a charity gathering on the boat, and we raised loads of dough on the day for the Croydon 7. Well, this year we're actually going to be doing a little raffle and all that sort of nonsense for the Palace Foundation. We want to look at that. Stop it, will you, Holyoake? Sit down, for God's sake. So we're actually going to be doing some stuff for the foundation. Now, Grant phoned me just before I came on air, and he said to me, Nick, can you tell the people that haven't paid, and there's only a handful that haven't paid, get on with it because we're running out of spaces. But what I am telling you, and I'm happy to announce, there is just 20 places left. Okay, it is going to be packed on the boat, and we are going to have a giggle, a crack, and a couple of beers, and have a bit of fun. Now, this is what he's actually sent me along. So the time slots on the piers have now been confirmed for our annual jaunt along Old Father Thames. Bear in mind, this is later in the afternoon kickoff. I think is it a 5:30 kickoff or a 5 o'clock kickoff, Joe, for the Chelsea game? No, I'll take that. You don't
yes, yes.
Right. So this departs at 11:15 in the morning from Festival Pier, which is very close to Waterloo stations, and 20 yards from a cafe called the Giraffe Cafe, where we will all meet in the morning, have a bit of brekkie, so you're fully laden up with food before you have a couple of beers on board. And we're going to land back at Putney Pier at 3:15 in the afternoon. And then a little trot over the bridge to Putney Bridge tube station, where it's two stops on the tube, and of course, we're onto the game. Now, the price of this is so reasonable. It's 15 quid for adults, £10 for under 16s. Festival Pier is a 5-minute walk from Waterloo and Waterloo East train station. Right, and he's also asked me to mention that the Giraffe restaurant, which is next to the pier, join the party goers and the boat goers for a leisurely breakfast with a sneaky tipple or two, and that opens from 9 o'clock in the morning. So come and join us. For those that you've never done it before, come along down and have a giggle on the boat. Joe, it's a shame you're not going, actually. We could have had a laugh. Why aren't you going?
Work.
Oh, yeah, I'll get that. Okay.
Work.
Right, okay, so on to yesterday's game. Joe, first of all, while I'm calling up the lineups, tell me what were your overall thoughts on the game yesterday?
Well, what I was, really pleased about was at last, after 12 injuries and whatever players we didn't have, that someone from one of our younger players gets a call up.
Absolutely.
It's so overdue. I mean, I've been saying now for 2-3 years now that, and I did say this, and a few people are starting to comment now. That sooner or later it will catch up with us. It will catch up with us. This, this terrible transfer windows that we keep having. But I think what's happened now is that we haven't had that bad. We bought 4 players in.
Yeah, I read it as well. Well done, Danny.
He's horrible, isn't he? That we've got this horrendous injury problem. So much worse than what we've ever had. So it's combining into and forcing Roy's hand to put Basaka in. I thought was a huge plus point. I'd like to see a few of the others being brought in, to be honest with you. You know, even if they are just given 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I mean, ideally, I'd like to see them given, you know, a chance to affect a game. If we're getting slaughtered, then bring someone on and give them the reason to try and help us out.
Well, that was the point. That's the whole point yesterday. The reason he didn't do it yesterday is because we weren't getting slaughtered. I think we all thought it was going to be an automatic bashing yesterday. That didn't actually happen, did it?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, firstly, half of it sound like Spurs didn't turn up. I mean, they were always going to have the majority of the possession. They're always going to play the better football because they've got the better players. But you know, as much as he got caned for the winning goal, NSC did have apart from that one flap and what happened at the corner. To be honest with you, I mean, he doesn't mark players on the far post.
No,
so
that's not his job.
It's completely irrelevant. You know, it's not. It's like I said, I thought he had a reasonable game apart from one mistake. One flap that wasn't his fault. So we seem to have this habit lately of leaving people on the far post, and they're scoring goals as well against us. We're conceding goals.
I think he had a great. I really think he had a good game. While we're talking about the goalkeeper, he made a couple of really good saves, and he got away with one because let's be honest, the first one in the first half was a penalty, and it wasn't given. They gave an offside against whoever it was, but it would have been a blatant penalty had he not been offside.
Well, here's what it is, isn't it? If you're not offside, it's a penalty. It's completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought we had a good game yesterday. I thought we were. I don't want to single players out, but there's players that have got some stick for yesterday. Certain players, but also there's some players that have. One particular player. I don't know if we're gonna discuss this, but what Sacco? The club needs to clarify either he's injured or he's on paternity leave. Now, football. I'm sorry. If he's diving off to watch the birth of his kid, then fair enough. But don't take paternity leave. You take a piss. So I'm not happy about that. I'd like to know what's going on with him. He gets a lot of money off us. A lot of money off us.
Yeah.
More than we can probably afford. He's probably getting at least 2, maybe 3 players' wages. So, and the other thing as well is we actually need him. I don't know, but anyway,
the manager said
the
manager said in his press conference on Friday, didn't he? Was it on Friday? Yeah, Friday. That he was disappointed that he hadn't been made himself available, and then you see him posting these pictures of his family, and congratulations, man! He's had a baby. I've got no problem. No, but it's but the manager was disappointed, and Mokhtar Abbas just said, and we do need him, and you're quite right, mate. And I get that. And I absolutely. Anyway, just so we know what the lineup was. Let's pick out a couple of highlights from yesterday as far as the lineup's concerned. What did you think of Sorloth? How do you think he played yesterday?
Well, I'd like to see him play up on his own. To be honest with you, I'd like to see Lemeka or Lakilo as well. Lakilo feeding him or Lemeka up with him, because like I said. I've had, there's the pros and cons for this. Benteke ain't scoring goals. If he ain't scoring goals, then we might as well give some experience to someone else that might not score goals, that might score goals.
I'll drop me a fake.
He's a one-trick pony. Yeah, he's a one-trick pony for me. He waits for crosses. He doesn't attack the near post. He doesn't shut down half as much as what he should do. He doesn't hassle enough. I'm not having the excuse now.
Do you mind if I pull you a little bit on it? Do you mind if I pull you a little bit? Okay, well, my thoughts yesterday, okay, and this is where me and you will always work well together, so if you're talking about Benteke, which you clearly are.
Can I just say, before you say that, so Mokhtar Abbas said, we're lucky to have him. Listen, 160,000 euros a week, we get a top. We could definitely get a decent Italian forward that'll run his nuts off. Jesus.
Right, okay. And I've got to tell you all a little quick story, okay? You'll see Richard Harvey's comment on there right now, okay? Now, you've got to understand, this Big Rich stands about 3 places along from me, and he was giving fucking Benteke dogs yesterday. And I've got to tell you, he couldn't even see where I was, but I'm standing there crying with laughter because he was giving... Now, I actually thought, bearing in mind he was isolated up there on his own, I thought he had a relatively good game. He was feeding, he was holding the ball up, he was winning lots of challenges in the air. It does seem as though he goes up for a challenge sometime. Hang on a sec. I think he does go up there about a week earlier when he goes up for a header sometimes. But he comes in from one side to head the ball on. The player we were actually talking about was Surloff, of course, okay? And I just wanted, on the point of headers, I just wanted to... Did anybody else notice yesterday? You used to describe somebody on the other station with a player with a 50p foot. Okay, well, I thought Surloff, he had loads of headers where they just... I think he was trying to head them on, okay? But the reality is he was turning his head round and they were just going everywhere. He was spraying his headers around left, right and centre. I thought he had a great game, by the way, for his home debut. I thought he played really well. But Surloff in particular, I thought his heading was bizarre. You didn't notice it?
No, not at all. And I apologise to Muta. So we'll talk about Mamadou in a minute.
Yeah.
Listen, he's only had a few games. He needs to settle into the English, the Premier League way of playing, the hustle, the bustle, the physicality. He's. Someone said something on Twitter today. I can't remember who it was now. And they went, he doesn't think he can cut it after 1.5 games.
Really?
Christ almighty.
Really?
I'll tell you who ain't cut it. Yeah, I'll tell you who ain't cut it after 23 games. Benteke this season. But anyway, so...
Mark Taylor just said on there, 50-odd chances, 20 clear cut, and he scored only 2. Okay, we're not going to bash him this evening, but I think
no. But if you've got a crisis of confidence, then drop him and give the new kid a chance to go up front. And if we're not, listen, this is the other thing as well. If we're not playing much, we're not going to put much. We're not going to play Chung Lee. Then stick Lakilo on the bench. In fact, don't stick Lakilo on the bench. Play him. That's what he needs to do. He looked great at pre-season. Pick the ball up, run straight at people. Well, players, the opposition do not like one thing, and that's people running at you. So, but anyway.
Somebody made a point earlier. One of the points somebody made earlier was about the amount of injuries we've got, and we are top of the Premier League injuries list. And let me just back up what that person just said, because I have in front of me the list, and this is the top 5. Everton are currently without 6 first-team members. Burnley are out without 6 first-team members. Huddersfield are without 6 first-team members. And then it jumps up to Watford, who are out with 10 players missing. At top of that league is a little club in South London called Crystal Palace, who are missing 13 players. Now, guys out there, I don't know if you saw the second team. After I did my player prediction the other day, we put out, on the page, the guys put out a second team. Now, this is a second 11, including both Sackos, Speroni, Scott Dan, Joel Warden. And so that team there that was on the subs bench, on the injury list, would have given Tottenham a game yesterday. Would have given Tottenham a game.
Seven of those players would have been playing that game yesterday.
Yeah.
And 7 of those players.
And we lasted 89 minutes, without conceding. I know it was a little bit like the Alamo yesterday, and it was a bit like the Alamo, but we still stopped the Harry Kane and his diving sidekick. I can't stand the bastard. Okay. And if you know, I don't know if any of you, again, I also tweeted out the other day that I knew that he would dive. I knew that he was dive, and he fucking did it. Oh, drives me mental. But I suppose You got to add it. I mean, he's got to remove it from his game. That's the bottom line. He's a good player. I think he's a very good player. I know you're all.
What he's done. He's actually included it in his game.
Yeah.
That's what he's done, which is quite sad because, like I said yesterday, come the World Cup and the European Championships,
we'll be crying out for him.
Yeah, they'll go after him. They'll go after him. The opposition will go after him like if they went after Beckham, and he'll get sent off. His petulance will get the better of him, or he'll dive, get 2 yellows, or whatever, and then he'll become the hate figure. The
Beckham figure. Beckham
was able to get it back. I can't see what Ali would. Anyway, I don't want to talk about him. He's got this reputation now, and he upheld it yesterday. I mean, the one where he dived over Hennessy was just shambolic. But these referees and the linos, they don't have any balls these days. They really should be. They're scared. That's what they are. They're absolutely scared.
I'm just going to pick up on what Chris has just said on there, if you don't mind. Chris White just said, "Hi, Chris. I hope you're well, buddy." He's just saying, people are too quick to pick up on the Benteke not scoring thing. Chris, I get what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, but don't forget that stat that was on there just before you clicked on there: 50 chances, 20 clear cut, and he scored 2 goals. I think that speaks volume. But I don't want to spend the evening slagging off one of our players. We're a Palace group, okay, and we need to support.
We threw Dwight Gale out of the club, didn't we, for scoring 1 in 4? Said he was crap. I'm just saying. And Murray wanted first team football. We wouldn't give it to him. In fact, Pardew wouldn't give it to him.
Yeah, well, we can go on about ex-players all night, can we? Because let's face it, they all had good games. Even Patrick Bamford scored 2 on Saturday.
Oh no, that's what we're rubbing in.
Pat Towers, how are you, Pat? Right, so my lineup for the missing 11 was as follows: Speroni, Schlupp, Sacco, Dan, Ward, punching in front of them, Cabaye, Loftus-Cheek, the other Sacco, Zaha, and Wickham. I think it's a pretty decent lineup, didn't you think?
Yeah. Very good. It's very good. But you've got to be thinking there's probably 4 or 5 players there that won't be playing anymore. Yeah. That won't be playing for the club. I think if Wickham comes back, I think it's doubtful, to be honest with you. I think we're cashing on him. I think Benteke, I think we're cashing on him. I think Punch, I think we'll cash in on him. Much. Chong-Li. Chong-Li didn't go to Bolton on loan purely because of the injury crisis, otherwise he'd be gone. So, there's 5 players there. That Speroni, he won't be playing again because we're already after at least 1 or 2 more goalkeepers, unless they bring Dion Henry through, which would be nice. But it's we seem to have gone backwards very, very quickly with the amount of players that we're going to need. There's going to be certain players after improved contracts. Yeah. Which I don't think there's certain players that haven't earned those
Before we move on, because I do want to move on, I've got one question for you on that, okay? Do you think we'll offer Johan another contract?
No.
Well,
I don't.
Guys out there, lots of you looking.
30-minute player, isn't he?
But we won't get much for him, though, will we?
Well, it's completely irrelevant. It takes 85 to 105, whoever you wish to believe wages-wise. It takes basically 6 figures off the wage bill. So, like I said, there's a lot of players. There's a lot of players on 40s and 50s. They've been a minimum after playing for on their second contracts of us staying in the Premier League with their bonuses and everything else that bump their wages up. And then, the worst thing is, you've got they're fringe players that are earning 40, 50, 60. They're fringe players. They're never going to get, they're never going to get in our team. Yes, it's frustrating. We seem to have run into a lot of problems very quickly.
Gilles frozen there,
compounded with the injuries.
Right, you froze up just for a second there, mate. It's okay, you're back on now. I think it was Mr. Barwell. I can't remember what your first name was. Forgive me. I just saw your question on there about Wilf. Okay, save your question to the end because I would like to cover that. So if you're still on at the end, ask that question at the end about Wilf. Right, I'm going to move it along if you don't mind, because I've got something different that I'd like the guys to comment on. And I can see every single... Sorry, it was Jack Barwell. You're quite right, Danny. And it was. Hello, Tyler. I can see you. Hello, Gary. I can see you on... and both my sons are out there somewhere also listening. Right, we're going to move on to some news from Sellers Park. I don't know if you've seen this today. Okay, and I'm going to read you a quote from Mark Ritson, Croydon Advertisers' Mark Ritson. Crystal Palace ladies is the topic. Okay, Crystal Palace ladies have applied to become a semi-professional club in the new FA Women's Championship, the second highest tier in their sport. The club is currently third in the Southern Division of the Women's Premier League, but the FA Women's Super League is being reconstructed for the 2018-2019 season, and new members are being invited to join. The top division will be for professional clubs, retaining the WSL name, and the second division will be semi-professional and renamed the Women's Championship. Now, I know that our very own Sean Feeney has an affinity with one or two of the ladies, and I'd love to get them on here to say hello to them. Your thoughts on the women's football, Joel?
I think Sean's a stalker.
Yeah.
I think that's the affinity that he has.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
Fingers Feeney.
Women's football. What are my feelings on what?
On the Palace.
What, the Palace ladies? Yeah. Kudos to them. I mean, you know, we need to be throwing money at the facilities. Obviously, when the training ground gets up and running and the proper pitches are there, they're not going to be using rubbish. So, yeah, I mean, Croydon is such a massive area. There must be loads and loads of women out there to choose from. So, you know, hopefully they'll make themselves available, and I don't know how big women's football is outside of the semi-professional that we know about, that we hear about, that comes up on our Twitter timelines and Facebook. Is there a women's league? It's going to sound really terrible, but
yeah, of course there is.
Is it? I don't know. There's a Saturday league for women, is it?
I believe so. I'm reading further on the quote. Okay, being part of the FA Women's Championship would help attract more players. It would be an endorsement of what we have tried to do here to make Crystal Palace ladies an elite football team on par with what the club have achieved in the men's game. And the club are financially backing the girls, and I think they should do. Now, interesting point from Michael. Great news for the ladies. They are a good side, and we will be even better with a step up in class. Good luck to them. Quite right.
Well, the thing is, if the club are backing them financially, then that's again, it can only lead to better things.
Right.
So, but the more successful they are, the more you hear about, and the more you get used to it. You know, in a 95% male-dominated sport, where 95% of the people that go to football, that support football, follow football, you know, it's blokes. I mean, I can't see a lot of blokes turn up to watch women through fear of just being slaughtered, you know, from the pervy point of view. But you know, it would be, wouldn't it? Imagine I just turn up, went, Nick, let's go down and watch the under-18s this afternoon.
Yeah, but they've already got a restraining order out on you, and we know that.
But no, you know what I'm saying. It's sometimes you put in it's an awkward situation. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm all for the ladies playing at Sellers Park as well.
Gary, I just seen your question. We are coming on to the HF and potential move of location.
Yeah, hold up for the questions a little bit longer.
Okay, because we're going to be doing that. Sean wants to join in for that conversation, so I'll be bringing him on shortly, and then I'll bring Jill back. Right, okay. So, stadium plans. Okay, I'm not going to do the moving in the HF yet. Okay, I want to talk about stadium plans. Now, there is 38 of you out there listening to us. Thank you for joining us here on Red and Blue News. I want to make sure that each and every one of you have been onto the website and actually put your point of view. I'm not going to tell you must support the planning application of Croydon Council. That's not my place to say that's what you want to do. Either way, can I ask you please to get on board, get on there, give your thoughts, your views, because it's just to let you know, last time I looked at it, there was something like 30 people that had said no to it. Okay, and one of them lived down in Shoreham. So guess who they spoiled? One of them lived over in where the Pikeys lived, over the other side of London. Okay, but there was something like, I don't know, 3,000 Palace fans that had. Now 3,000 Palace fans is not a great amount. So grab yourselves a pen and paper. I've got an address for you all, okay? If you haven't got a pen and paper, I'll get John to put it up at the end of the show, okay? This is where I'd like you to go and put your views, if you don't mind. stadium.cpfc.co.uk. And you'll notice on there, Jill, while I'm doing that, Simon Cribbin is watching us, okay? And I'm going to make a personal hello. Simon Cribbin, he's one of the most well-travelled Palace fans that I know. This guy lives in Canada, okay? He has, with me, a joint season ticket. You know, I offered you that ticket for yesterday's game, Jill. Yeah? Well, that was from Simon Cribbin in Canada, because what he does on a regular basis, he gets on a flight, comes over here, watches the game, and goes back, okay, regularly. And he does it throughout the season. This is not once a year. This is, I don't know how many games you've done, Simon, but sorry, from Calgary. Well, that is bloody Canada, isn't it, you prat? Okay, and that's what he does. That bloke spends a lot of his I think he's big ups to you, Simon. I think he's a wonderfully smashing bloke, a very good friend of mine now, and B, take me a hat off to what he does. Anyway, that's me rambling on. So, good evening, Simon. Right, stadium development. Now, before I bring Sean in, and Sean, you need to request to join, mate, if you're listening. I know you're there, okay? If you need to request. I want Jill's views on the... We heard news this week, okay, with reference to the lower Holmesdale fans at the moment are not being invited to renew their season ticket, whereas the rest of the stadium are. Very simply, and the rumour out there, okay, and there is absolutely no basis of fact on it, that potentially the singing section, the HF in Block B, are going to be moving into Block E, okay? Now, we cannot substantiate it, corroborate it, support it, okay? We don't actually know the truth behind it. But if that were to be the case, Jill, and we don't know whether it's true or not, what would your thoughts be on that? Jill, you're frozen on me. Jill, talk to me. No, Jill's not there. So, hi, Albert. I hope you're well, mate. I can see you there. Right, there you go. He's back. Right, Jill, are you there?
Yeah.
You froze on me, though.
What are my thoughts? Well, firstly, you've said it was a rumour anyway, but secondly, there was another rumour that I heard that it would be safe standing. So, if it's safe standing, then they're gonna want to stand where they want to stand, and there's nothing we can do about it. I get myself in big trouble sometimes with stuff that I say.
That's why you're on here and not the other place, because No,
I know. So this is the thing, right? Parish has turned around and said that he wants to fill the curve in where between where the HF are and the Arthur. Yeah. Why don't we give them that? The noise that they make, that drum noise, just goes straight out and up out the stadium. If you put a curve in there, I'm sure that would then. I'm sure that would not many people would be rucking about giving them that area. That's what I would do. Failing that, I would give them the Sainsbury's so they can just give you stick to the away fans rather than the away fans giving stick to what I see is mums and dads taking their kids. It's like a second family section down there. But there's going to be a big configuration of where people sit anyway, as soon as that main stand's built, because I can't see there being a family section being allowed in there. I can't see Nick and his kids being able to sit in there for whatever it is, 140 quid a year. I think that main stand is going to be corporate and and that's what I think that's where all the money's going to be coming. You know, the bigger money coming into the club will be aimed at seating people in that stand. You're not even funny, Andy.
Andy, yes, you are.
So I think there'd be a big configuration, but either that, or I would make the whole of the. I'd move the away fans to a different part. Put all the family, give them 2,000 seats down in the Sainsbury's, make that a complete family end. But yeah, there's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of people not going to be happy. But if, and this is a big if the HF are being allowed to move, and people are not going to be able to renew their seats because of the HF, then that's out of order. But yeah, anyway, I'm pretty sure that I read something as well that the club have put an application in for safe standing. I think they've actually approached the football, whatever authorities are in charge of that sort of thing. Because I know when Lord Justice Taylor brought out a report after Hillsborough, you know, he recommended all-seater stadium. So I don't know whoever's in charge of that kind of thing. It would need to go to them. Is it? What other stadiums are in the? Are there any safe standing in Scotland?
I believe they have started safe standing in Scotland on. I don't know whether it's many grounds, but for sure that there is at least one or two. I'm sure Celtic have got safe standing. I'm happy to be corrected. There is also another potential reason was offered to me earlier on about that. John Ellicott, hello mate, has just confirmed it is Celtic. Thank you, Andy. Yeah. God, I'm fucked. Yeah. Am I fucking good or what? Anyway, so there is also another reason potentially why there could be some moves, or they're not allowing us to renew Lower Holmesdale season, of which I'm one of them, by the way. And it's something to do with the extension of the White Horse end, okay, with the pitch at the White Horse end, where they're losing a couple of thousand seats at that end to make way for, obviously, the bigger pitch, of course, but also maybe to sort something out for a better viewing from the Holmesdale for the disabled customers. Again, it might be right, it might be wrong. It's only what I've heard. There is percent. So it could be. I think we've established it. It could be a number of reasons. It could be disabled seating. It could be to accommodate the HF, which I'd be really surprised if they did. Okay, but my thought is really, I would be concerned about people that are sitting in Block E that are long-term season ticket holders. Okay, some of these guys have been in that block since the Holmesdale was built. How long ago was that? 20 years ago, and they've been in that block. Would they really, really, really accommodate another set of fans for the existing customers? Because that's what they are. They're customers in Block E.
I've got a mate who's got 4 tickets here.
Yep.
In fact, I've got a few mates that have got tickets in at the back of E, and.
Jill, you're freezing again, mate. For those of you, Jill's frozen. While I'm waiting for Jill to come back and join me, okay, there's nearly 50 of you listening out there. Good evening to you all. Can I start having your questions, please? You'll see that the paper's ready, the biro's ready. All I need is Jill Holyoake to come back on and sort your bloody internet out, and I'll start taking questions from you guys. Ben Allen, I've just seen your comment. Jill, you back?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
There you go, mate.
Blank version.
That's all right, mate. Go on. You were saying.
I can't remember what I was saying. Thanks for all for everyone correcting us or saying that Celtic have got safe standing. So, but then if you put the equivalent of Celtic into English football, they'd only be Championship anyway. So we're talking about Premier League. So, but anyway, thanks for all that. So. Andy keeps putting up a lot of points. He said HS should not be allowed to dictate where they go. But you're right, they shouldn't be. Pretty seemingly, I don't think they have a free run. I think they burnt a lot of bridges, what they did down at Brighton. And I know there's been a lot of action taken against a lot of fans for that. I've got friends whose sons and friends of that have had action taken against them, so they seem to have calmed down a little bit. But anyway,
did you? I don't know if it's gone off the screen now, but Simon Cribbian in Canada just said, "Can we raise a petition to get Tudor back in? The ground's lost a lot of atmosphere since he hasn't been there." Simon, mate, I don't think it's a petition will help. In fact, even the ground can't help. This was that stadium ban was done by a court of law. It wasn't done by the club, although the club initiated it. I can't see that happening, if I'm honest with you. But I do take his point. I do take Simon's point that the atmosphere in the ground maybe hasn't been as vibrant recently. Maybe it's a lot of that's to do with nervous fans worried about relegation and everything else. That's probably what it is. But certainly there has been a different vibe in the HF of late, because I stand right behind them. And I think they do a great job. I love what they do. But if you notice, we haven't had any displays this year, or we might have one at the beginning of the year. We haven't had, the singing has been good. When it's been good, it's been really good. But, they're struggling to get the rest of the ground engaged. Are you still there, Jill? Because it looks as though you've frozen again. Okay, so what I'm asking for now is, where are we at time-wise? We're 40 minutes in, Anna, mate. I was going to see you back. I'm asking you for questions, and Jay Kitchens kicks us off with, how many points do you think we will take from the next 3 games? Jill?
And they are
Man United, Chelsea. I believe it's Huddersfield and then Liverpool. So he probably means the next 4 games. But I can't.
The next 4. The Huddersfield game's away. When is that? Is that the 4th game or the 3rd game from now?
I'm sure somebody will tell us.
Because it matters. It really matters. I don't think we're going to beat Chelsea. I don't think we're going to beat Man United. I think we could at best get maybe a draw at Huddersfield. It'll be a struggle. If we come away with 3 points on the next 4 games, I'll be very, very happy. So, but yeah, it's the big boys' league, isn't it? And everyone's. I think what you've got is that top 6 fighting for the top 4 places, and the Europa is like the booby prize really for them lot, and then you've got the rest of us all fighting to not go down. Just that's the way it is, Teams we thought were mediocre, staying in the Premier League year in year out. Stoke struggling, West Brom struggling, Southampton struggling. They are teams. They're teams that really that should just be mid-table. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but we really need some players back. I mean, it's the understatement of the year, and the other thing as well is that the players that we've got the bare bones of a squad, and the players that are playing are just going to have to play all the time, and then we risk injuries and burnout. So, Lucy, no news on Tompkins, but what we did here was it wasn't an injury; it was cramp.
It was cramp.
Yeah. So that'll be. That'll be.
I'm just going to go back to a couple of the other questions. Somebody put out there, guys, because it's scrolling through the screens quick enough. I can't write them down quick enough. But somebody said that 38 points will be enough. I'd be inclined to agree with that. I think 38 points will be plenty. I would think it would probably be a little bit less than that. You're welcome, Lucy, and welcome to the show. Somebody asked, when will Wilf be back? Okay, well, we know he's training at the moment. He's on light training, but Ben Allen then came back and countered. He said that he thinks that they will hold him back for the running because, let's face it, and I haven't got to hand, and I know somebody will do it again for me, but that last batch of games, that last 6 or 8 games, I mean, there are all winnable games. Yeah, let's get out the Man United, the Chelsea, the Liverpool game. Get them out of the way. Okay, forget about it. The Spurs game like yesterday. But the last 6 or 7 games, there's all of our teams around us. We could end up with superb amount of points. And forget your 38. The wheels could also fall off. I get that. But there are some definite winnable games.
Every game's a cup final, Nick. Every game is a cup final for everyone else. So where people had dead games last year, we were playing them and getting results. These are all cup finals. Everyone's going to be up for it. So this is from sort of 8 downwards. It's probably the best league It's the best it's been for ages for excitement and for a neutral. But 3 wins and a couple of draws, Lee, and we'll be safe, Lee Gilbert.
Yeah.
Well, I'd take 3 wins and a couple of draws from now. I can tell you now. That would be.
Andy's right. Oh, sorry. Andy's right. He said it's still in our own hands. Well, of course it is. It's massively in our own hands, especially with that last batch of half a dozen games. And Richard's saying that the running we have is one of the best we've had in the Premiership. Mate, I can't see it. I haven't got my season ticket there. Anybody give me a list of the last 6 or 7 games? Because, West Brom...
Summer Kirsten, drop Benteke. Any news about Kabay? Well, Kabay's injured. No news about Kabay. And drop Benteke, I would do, yeah, without a doubt, yes. And then Stephen says, if they play like they did yesterday, they should be okay. Yeah, but the thing is... It's saying we'll be okay, but so I said sooner or later we won't be. And then this is Dan. I'll speak to Danny as well as Nick virtually every time I've said it. He said, I said we're going down, and he goes, we'll be all right, don't worry about it. And here he is again. Look, we'll stay up every year. He goes, yeah, we'll be all right, don't worry about it. So that's the calming influence.
Good question by Ben. Yes or no? Will Roy be the manager at the start of next season? Very good question.
Yes, without a doubt.
Really? Do you think? Okay, because I know you're frozen there. I'm presuming you can still hear me. Do you think he would not be if we have a summer transfer window like we had in this one that's just gone, where we didn't get most of what he wanted? Yeah, we did sign 3 players. Do you think everybody out there? This is to everybody out there. Do you think Roy will stick around if we have another disastrous transfer window? It's one of those. Hang on, he's back. Go for it, Joe. Did you hear the question?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? He's a Croydon boy. He's at a Croydon club. He's at a club where
your bloody internet, Jill. Lee Gilbert, I hope that penalty miss against Bournemouth by Benteke doesn't come back and bite us on the arse. Well, absolutely right. Thank you, Gary. So it's Bournemouth, Brighton, Watford, Leicester, Stoke and West Brom. Gary, you're a top man. Do you see that, Jill? Bournemouth, Brighton, Watford, Leicester, Stoke and West Brom are our last 6 games. All winnable games.
Yeah, they are winnable. But when you're talking about West Brom are completely in the shit now. What happens if it's... Yeah, we had them this last game of the season, West Brom, yeah?
Yeah, at home.
What happens if that turns into another Sheffield Wednesday? I can't have that. I nearly had a heart attack up there on that game. I couldn't watch the last 10 minutes. I was at the back of the stand. There's about 500 people out there. It's just unbearable. I do think, going to Roy, I do think he'll stay. I think he loves the club. I think, it's... There's just so much gone bloody wrong. I really don't know. I really don't know how we can cope with, with so much going wrong. If we can cope with this year with as much going wrong as what it has, then I think it bodes well for the future. But we're still having a shot. It seems like we're having. Is it gone?
No, you're there, but did you not see Ben's comment to you? Don't worry about IPTV, Jill. Your internet's fucking shit. Listen, IPTV, I'm going to get it. I don't nothing to do with me. I'm going to have a go with myself. And in this room, I will be able to watch every single Palace Premier League game, home or away, that I can't get to. IPTV, get hold of Ben Allen. He'll give you some details on it. Jill, you've gone again. You are having a mare of your internet tonight. Gary, this is a massive season to stay up. Next year, should be a good season if we get the signings. Gary, you're right. Christopher saying the injuries, who do we blame? Coaching team, Parish for not getting replacements. Bit of both, maybe. Gary's also asking IPTV. You're doing on your page, mate, which is a brilliant page. He's gone all together now. Anybody else want to come on and say hello? Because he's disappeared. The first one to come on the list and say me. Ask to join and I'll bring you on. By the way, guys, it is snowing. I hope you're all warm out there. John Ellicott, come and join me. Gary, come and say hello, and I'll introduce IPTV. More questions, please. There's still over 40 people there. Come on, Andy. Andy, if you want to come on, request now. Once it shows up on my screen here, I'll push the button. First one to do it, go. What's that say? Matthew Bay, 12 injuries, unprecedented, and he's absolutely right. Can't budget for that. Just needs to react. And great shout. Andy Ball, you're coming on. I'm adding Andy. Andy will be joining us any second now. This is the first time we've actually had one of the listeners, one of the viewers. He's coming on any second now. This will be interesting because we've never done this before. Andy, are you there yet? Andy was the first person to react. He's connecting. Andy, good evening, mate. How are you?
Hello.
Welcome to Red and Blue News.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good evening. How you doing, guys? Never tuned in before, so bit of a first for me.
Well, tell me, first of all, before you start, Andy, where are you? And how long you supported the Palace?
I'm in a little village called Shipley Bridge, just down near Gatwick Airport, right on the border halfway between Palace and the enemy.
Ah, good lad. Okay, so you can easily lob dirty old fruit over the boundary to hopefully hit one of them bastards, yeah?
100%.
Top man.
100%.
And are you a season ticket seller? And if so, where is it?
Well, mine's a really bizarre one. I'm not a season ticket holder, but I go to all the home games. I do radio commentary for Mayday Hospital and for the visually impaired fans within the ground.
I'm impressed. Where'd you do that from?
This is the difficult one. The away end in the Arthur Waite. Top corner in the away end, there's a little radio studio. We've been up there for about 35 years now.
Really? Is it self-funded?
I've been involved in doing it for about 14 years. I used to work at a college for kids with visual impairments in Redhill. Used to take some of them up there as like a supported guide.
Andy, I don't know if you can see the comments go through on the page as you're talking. Keep your eye on that, okay? Because you're getting some great feedback. Good lad. Good effort. Round of applause,
okay,
mate.
Well, thank you very much.
So you do this for every home game, do you?
Yeah, every home game.
Fantastic, mate. Would you do me a favour? Send me.
It's great fun as well.
Could you send me a link to what you do so I could put it up on the page and let everybody else see what you do?
Okay, cool. I think what I can do. Well, anyone who's got like a visual impairment and needs like a commentary within the ground. They go to the main box office or the ticket office, ask for Pam Groves. Anybody who's got a disability in terms of visual or anything like that, they can get like a little earpiece. So you can sit in the top of the Arthur, you can sit in the top of the Homestyle, and you'll get my dulcet tones chatting away along with two other great commentators, Roger Dixon and Chris Winter. Those two boys have been doing it for years and years. I've just come in on the back. I've been there for about 13 years, so I'm like the baby of the pack. But it's great fun as well. You know, we were up there yesterday for the Spurs game, and we were so close to getting something out of that game. You know, to have it snatched away, little bit of lax of concentration by Damo.
Yeah,
took his eye off the ball. Hennessy flapped at it, having produced some great saves. It's difficult to sort of pin the blame on anyone particular, although people will be looking at Damo thinking, well, hang on a sec. He's just come onto the pitch. He's only been on 2 or 3 minutes. It was a tough one for him. Yeah, from the positives from yesterday, obviously you've got Wan-Bissaka, who had a great debut. For me, was man of the match. I think, you know, apart from a couple of times where he sort of did the schoolboy error and chased the ball around into the middle of the park, I thought he did a great. You know, you can see him a couple of times. I was like, hang on a sec, you're supposed to be at right back, and there you are, centre midfield, chasing down. And, you know, in terms of attacking, Wan-Bissaka went forward as well, so he wasn't scared of who we were playing, which sometimes you get people coming for a debut and they go, oh, hang on a sec, it's Tottenham, I'm going to slow right down here and be right out of my depth. But he did really well yesterday for me. Van Aanholt had a good game, Milivojevic was solid game as well. So, yeah, unfortunately for those who were there, momentary lapse in concentration, 2 minutes or 3 minutes after coming on, and it cost us, unfortunately. But will we stay up? Hell yeah, we will.
Yes.
We're Palace. We do things the hard way. We do it the hard way, but we will stay up.
I need to meet you, shake your hand for what you do, and buy you a pint. mate, we are, and if you could go back and read through these comments on here, people are.
I'm going to try.
People are in awe of what you have just told us. Okay, I've been supporting Palace. Look, before these were great. Okay, and
Who's Ben? Sorry,
yeah,
Nick.
go on.
I've just seen Ben Allen. He just said we just found a regular guest and get details.
There you go.
Nick.
There you go. So, mate, after the show, please get in touch with me. Okay, just do it on Messenger. We want to talk to you. We want to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
We want to get to know you because I didn't even know.
Okay.
I did not know that facility for our visually impaired supporters was even there. And you just made this had a heart attack a few years ago, and you just made this whole ticker miss a beat because I'm delighted.
I'm probably going to make you miss another one now.
Go on.
I don't know if you boys will be able to see it. A couple of years ago, the club actually invited us back up to Selhurst to do an interview for Palace TV. So they started talking to us about it, and as they were chatting away, myself and Roger were there, and then all of a sudden they went, actually, we haven't got you here for Palace TV. We've got you here for... Hang on, I'm going to see if technology can help me out here. Can you see that, guys?
I can see that clearly, mate.
There's a picture. Yeah, myself on the left with the hair, Roger on the right without the hair,
yeah,
and Mr. Parrish in the middle came out of nowhere and said, "Oh, we'd like to present you with these awards for the." Hang on, I'll just see if I can whiz over here in the lounge. It's the Crystal Palace Football Club 2016-17 Equality Award for the work that we do in terms of bringing it into a level playing field, which are a group of fans there called the Level Playing Field that like to make access and disability and all that a no-nonsense barrier, so there is no barrier for it. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we all have one common link, and that's that we're all
Palace fans,
mad enough to support the Palace.
Question from Sharon. I don't know if you can see it. Do you still broadcast inpatients at May Day as well as on match day?
Yeah.
And are you involved? Yeah. And are you involved in that as well?
Yeah. It goes back to the studio, and it's linked on there. It's it's something that it's for me. I got involved, as I said, 13 years ago, and for me, it's an opportunity to put something back into the club. I'll give you a little bit of background on myself. A very long time ago, had a very severe issue with depression, and Palace were the one thing that kept me going. In terms of at the weekend, it gave me that there's always something to look forward to, and it was the one thing that sort of kept me going through my depression. And it's quite a tough thing to deal with depression. But for me, knowing that on Saturday I'd be going to football, I'd be doing my radio stuff, was just the one thing that sort of helped me get through it through a really tough time.
Mate, I'm staggered.
For me now to do this radio stuff, it gives me an opportunity to pay back something to the club, and to give everybody else an opportunity to. We have. Yesterday we had about 7 or 8 visually impaired fans in front of us, so hopefully they get a great commentary from us, and it gives me a chance to put something back to the club.
Right, you're talking and I'm writing. Okay, I want to make sure you are aware of what the hell is being said. I am staggered. You have made my evening. Okay, you made me proud to be a Palace fan. Okay. Mark Easton's just said, where has this man been? Get him a pint. And you have been called in the last 30 seconds a legend, Palace Gold, and an inspiration. Mate, you are an inspiration to us all. Now, I would like to...
I quite like Dave Martin's comment. Hats off to you, Andy. I couldn't do it. I'd swear too much. Dave, I'm probably one of the most vocal... Out of the 3 of us that do it, myself, Roger and Chris, the dynamics work really well, because if you got like Roger and Chris that are like the old guard, and I'm like the young puppy, and between the 3 of us, it works out really, really well. What we need to do, Nick, is maybe on the next one of the games coming up soon, get you one of the little earpieces. You can have a listen to what we actually do.
I was about to offer you my services for whatever I can do to push, support, help, or do anything I can for what you guys do over there. I don't know anything about you. I've never met you, Andy, but I can't wait to meet you. And
well, as I said, when I first came on, this is the first time I've ever sort of looked into one of this. I was watching a film, Tom Cruise, The Mummy. And I've now paused it, and that's been 66 minutes ago. I paused it.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
You stole my night off the telly, so thank you for that.
Listen,
because it was a shit film anyway.
I tell you now, guys, I've got to wrap this up. We were conscious that we didn't want to do an hour because we didn't want to keep everybody in the evening. Okay, but I would love to. Ben's just put a comment on there. Could we get some sort of footage, please? We'd love to post to everybody so they can enjoy what you do, Andy. Thank you for joining me. And I think on behalf of all the Palace fans, thank you for joining me on behalf of all the Palace fans out there. Thank you for what you do. And my God, are we going to spend some time together? You're going to be back on this show. And I would love to offer you mine and Jill Holyoake's service is one day at a game where we could come
Ruddock.
Yeah, Razor.
It is Razor.
Was that you that said it earlier? You're out of order, but funny with it. Okay. Gary, thank you. Gary Carvel says, thank you for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. Andy, I'm going to let you go. Okay. So thank you for joining us. Mate,
I'll leave you with just one last. I just saw Dave Martin's comment there. Have you slipped up? I'll leave you with one last one. We had Calvin Andrew and Nathaniel Klein. And at one stage I said Calvin Klein was playing.
Oh, mind you, I could do that now, even today, even yesterday, because these are disappearing rapidly because I'm getting old. Okay, I've got my 18-year-old. I've got my 18-year-old son standing next to me, and I'm saying,
we could be Morecambe and
who's that?
Wild.
Oh, yeah, it's a good night from me, and it's a good night from me, and a good night from him. Good night.
Good night from
Andy,
him.
I'll talk to you soon, mate.
Thanks,
I'll talk to you again soon. I look forward to it, buddy. I'm proud of you.
Cool.
Take care, mate.
Cheers.
Bye.
Great show.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. The time is now 2 minutes past 9. 2 minutes past 8. I've got my dinner going cold out there. I'm welling up. I'm speechless. I think you'll all agree that was a great end to the show. Folks, if you like what you've seen, okay, could I please ask one last question? And thank you for all your comments, all your connections tonight. Simon, I've just seen your comment, mate. Thank you, buddy. Can I ask you to please, when this goes on Twitter, share it. When you see it on the page and it goes out on the page, please share it. Tell all your friends about it. We've had in excess of 40 people all night. I'm devastated with what I've just heard, and I am so proud to be a Palace fan. I hope you're enjoying that. Tyler's just asked me when's the next one. Tyler, we try and do it after a game. I haven't got an actual date. I'll put it up on the page, but I hope you all enjoyed it. I've enjoyed your company tonight. This has been the best one we've done, and I'm a proud man. You've made an old man very happy tonight. Thank you, each and every one of you. I'll talk to you again soon. Good night from me. Thank you, Jill. Good night, mate.